It was already 11 p.m. when Cindy's black luxury SUV slowly pulled up in front of the Grand Hotel. The building stood tall and magnificent, glowing with golden lights that reflected off the polished glass walls. Expensive cars lined the entrance, and elegantly dressed guests moved in and out, laughing and chatting as music drifted from inside. Cindy sat quietly for a moment inside the car. Her heart was beating fast. This was it. After everything she had been through, after all the humiliation, the tears, and the waiting, she was finally here. But suddenly, doubt crept in. She looked down at her hands, then at her dress. "What if I don't belong here?" she whispered softly to herself. It had been so long since she had stepped into a place like this, a place filled with confidence, beauty, and attention. For a brief moment, she almost told the driver to turn back. But then she remembered everything. The long days of suffering, the harsh words, the dreams she refused to give up. She took a deep breath. "No," she said quietly, "I deserve this." The driver stepped out and opened the door. Cindy slowly stepped out of the car, and the moment her heels touched the ground, she felt some touch of boldness. As she walked toward the entrance, heads began to turn. One person noticed her, then another. Then suddenly, everyone. Conversations slowed. Music faded into the background. Eyes followed her every step. Her soft pink gown shimmered under the lights, flowing gracefully as she moved. Her presence was calm, effortless, yet impossible to ignore. She didn't try to impress anyone. She didn't need to. There was something about her, something different, something real. People whispered as she passed. "Who is she? Have you seen her before? She's stunning." Not a single person she walked past failed to notice her. Inside the hall, standing among important guests, was Prince K, the man of the night. He had spent the evening greeting people, smiling and entertaining conversations. Beautiful women had approached him all night, each trying to capture his attention. But none of them truly impressed him. To him, it all felt predictable. Until he saw her. From across the room, his eyes locked onto Cindy, and for a moment, everything else disappeared. He watched as she walked in, her presence quiet but powerful. There was no struggle in her beauty, no desperation for attention. Prince K frowned slightly in surprise. How is it possible, he thought, that someone like her has never been seen before? It felt like saving the best moment for last, like discovering something priceless when you thought you had already seen everything. Without realizing it, he began to walk toward her. Across the hall, Didi and Fifi were busy trying to draw attention to themselves, laughing loudly, posing, showing off. But slowly, they began to notice something. People weren't looking at them anymore. Confused, they followed the direction of everyone's gaze. And then they saw her, Cindy. For a second, they didn't recognize her, but the more they looked, the more it became clear. Their smiles faded instantly. "What?" Didi whispered. "That can't be her," Fifi added, her voice tight with disbelief. Jealousy quickly replaced their confusion. How could Cindy, the girl they mocked, the girl they treated like nothing, walk into the same room and outshine them so effortlessly? They were not happy, not at all. Meanwhile, Prince K had finally reached Cindy. "Good evening," he said gently. Cindy turned, slightly startled. For a moment, she didn't know what to say. Good evening," she replied softly. Up close, Prince K was even more captivated. There was something in her eyes, innocence, calmness, and strength all at once. "May I have this dance?" he asked. Cindy hesitated for just a second, then nodded. As the music changed, they stepped onto the dance floor. People moved aside almost naturally, giving them space. And as they began to dance, the room seemed to pause again. Cindy moved gracefully, though she had been nervous just moments ago. It felt as though everything was falling into place. Prince K couldn't take his eyes off her. He had danced with many before, but this felt different. They laughed softly as they moved. The tension disappeared. For the first time that night, Cindy felt completely at ease, like she belonged. After the dance, they moved to a quieter corner to talk. Prince K was curious. "Where have you been all this while?" he asked. Cindy smiled gently. "I guess I've just been somewhere quiet," she replied. He chuckled softly. "Well, wherever that place is, they've been hiding something special." Cindy looked down shyly. As they continued talking, he noticed something else. She wasn't like the others. She wasn't trying to impress him. She wasn't forcing anything. She was simply herself. And that made her even more beautiful. Time passed quickly, too quickly. Soon the music slowed again. The host's voice echoed through the hall. "It is time for the final dance of the night." Everyone knew what that meant. This would be the moment Prince K would make his choice. Cindy's heart suddenly dropped. Midnight. The warning echoed loudly in her mind. Her eyes widened. She looked around, then toward the clock. It was almost time. Panic set in. "I have to go," she said suddenly. Prince K looked confused. "Now? But the final dance." "I'm sorry," she said quickly and already stepping back. And before he could stop her, she turned and ran. Cindy rushed through the hall, her heart pounding. "Wait," Prince K called out, following behind her. Guests turned in confusion as she hurried past them. She ran down the grand staircase as fast as she could, her dress flowing behind her, her breath uneven. She didn't stop. She couldn't. Then suddenly, one of her heels slipped. It fell off on the marble stairs. But Cindy didn't turn back. She kept running. She disappeared into the night, just as the clock struck midnight. Prince K reached the staircase moments later, but she was gone. All that remained was the single sparkling heel. He bent down slowly and picked it up, holding it carefully in his hand. His expression changed from confusion to determination. "I will find her," he said quietly, "no matter what it takes." And somewhere in the distance, Cindy's night of magic had come to an end. But her story was only just beginning.